Hello, Your Majesties. Happy Wednesday. I have another scary story for you guys. This one is called Blackest Night. Um, yeah. Anyway, okay. The Blackest Night is a scary story about a young couple who visit a haunted cabin on the darkest night of the year. Oh, it was almost midnight when they drove down the crooked, lonely country road and stepped outside the old log cabin. A chill wind was blowing and the moon was full. The boy and girl stepped out of the car and made their way towards the cabin. They opened the door and peered inside. Is this it? She asked. Yes, he replied. This is the place. Let's go in. You first, she said. He stepped inside and she followed. The door creaked shut and the darkness closed around them. Did you know that tonight is the darkest night of the year? He asked. No, she said. Is it? Yes, he said. They call it the blackest night. Do you know why? No, she said. Okay, I'll tell you. He said it was 20 years ago. Even back then, the cabin was abandoned and falling apart. Sometimes hunters were sometimes hunters who were going to go to the game in the surrounding woods. It was also used used as a makeout place by young couples like us. They say this broken down shack has seen a lot of hugs and kisses, but all that came to an end one cold October morning. What happened? They found the body of a young girl inside a cabin. She had been murdered and it was an extremely brutal scene. They said her eyes had been gouged out. Oh, and she was gutted like a fish. Her body was ripped open from her belly up to her chin. Her guts were strewn all around the cabin. The killer also chopped off one of her hands. She bled to death. It was slow and painful. How horrible, she exclaimed. Why are you telling me this? Well, that's how the story goes, he said. The murderer was never found. Uh-oh. They say that ever since then, the cabin has been haunted every year on the darkest night of the year. The night the night this terrible crime took place, if you listen very closely, they say you can hear the screams of the dying girl. That's why they call it the blackest night of the year. You're making chill you're making all this up just to scare me. Not at all, he replied. You love to intimidate me. I swear it's the truth, he said solemnly, but she could see a hint of a mischievous smile around his lips. You ever you never heard this legend? I thought everyone knew about it. No, I never heard it before, she said. This place has given me the creeps. Let's get out of here. Come on, this is interesting. If you told me all this before, if you told me all this before, I would never have agreed to come. And the thought of that poor girl crying, I don't even want to think about it. Shh, he said. Let's wait a little longer. Maybe we'll hear her scream. Oh my gosh. I don't want to, she protested. I'm already trembling like a leaf. Well, well, I'm the one with the car, he said. Maybe I'll just go off and leave you and you can spend the night here alone. No, she cried. Don't even joke about that. She grabbed the door handle and pulled. The rusty hinges creaked and The handle came off in her hand. She let out a shriek of surprise. Grr, surprise turned to panic, and she began pushing and shoving and banging on the door. It wouldn't open. What? Is this your idea of a joke? She cried, her eyes welling up with tears. Let me out. He didn't answer. She turned around. He stood there in the moonlight, a faceless black silhouette. He stood there in the moonlight, a faceless black silhouette. Are you scared yet? Are you scared yet? He asked sarcastically. She looked down at his hands. He was unscrewing his right hand, turning it around and around. He pulled it off, revealing a rusty metal hook. What's happening? She cried. As he got closer, she saw that he looked much, much older. His hair wasn't blonde anymore. It was gray, and his face was lined and wrinkled. I love this night, he said. It's a shame it only comes once a year. No, she begged. Please don't. For 20 years, they've been coming out here, he said. The faces change, but the girls are always the same. Silly and naive, vulnerable and stupid, waiting for me. No, she whispered as her knees buckled and slid to the floor. He grinned. This is my night, he said as he raised his hook. On that cold October night, the lonely cabin was filled again with the horrifying sound of a girl's screams. The eerie sounds were carried on the breeze, and those who heard them looked fearfully into the darkness, then hurried home to tell their loved ones about the terrible legend of the blackest night of the year. Wow. Yeah, I would. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't. Yeah, if my boyfriend, by the way, I don't have a boyfriend, I'm single, but if I ever got a boyfriend and he told me about this and we went to a cabin, I would be texting my mom, asking to come get me, and I would be leaving him there if he ever tried to scare me like that, because that's not cool. Oh my gosh. But then again, I like scary stuff, so I don't know if I would leave. I would probably stay because I like that scary haunted stuff. But anywho, that's gonna be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below, and if you're new here, hi, I'm Princess Peyton. Hit the red button to become your majesty, and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I love you guys so much. You guys are the best human beings ever made, and you're the king of my heart in the song lyrics of Taylor Swift. And I will see you guys in Friday's video. I love you. Bye. Mwah.